Welcome back. So I kind of telegraphed where I was going to go with my next career video. And it's short, right? And so this fits into a lot of playlists. This fits into the Goalie of the Future playlist. This fits into a lot of different areas for this. Pascal Leclaire. So at the time that he was drafted, there was a lot of buzz about this guy. He's drafted 8th overall in 2001. Now it depends on how you look at it. Was he a bust? Or did he get injured a lot? And sometimes players who are considered to be busts actually get hurt quite a bit. And injuries play a large role in how short their career is. And for Leclaire, he just had the worst timing. He had the absolute worst possible timing when his injuries would take place. So he doesn't make his debut in the NHL until 03-04. 2 games played, both of them are losses, .899 save percentage, not much to see here. So they wipe out the 04-05 season. He's getting time in the American Hockey League to get ready, and still Columbus very excited about their future. His first year, 33 games, he finishes with a record of 11, 15, and 3, .911 save percentage. The numbers look decent, right? Not world-beating, and definitely because he's in Columbus, and this is a team that hasn't made the playoffs yet in their history. I mean, the numbers aren't that bad. They're not that great either, but hey, Leclaire's learning, right? 06-07, his season submarine by a leg injury. This is the year he was supposed to take over for Marc Denis. He'd been the backup to Marc Denis in 05-06. Denis is traded out, and Leclaire's supposed to take over. Instead, Frederick Norrena ends up being the starter, plays 55 games that year. Leclaire's limited to 24 games, and his record is not good. 6-15-2 with an .897 save percentage. So injury? Yes. Stats going down? Also yes. But it's only his third year. So this is where that whole conversation of when can you consider somebody a bust? I'm not sure, because the fourth year is a pretty good one. 2007-2008, he has 54 games, finishes with a record of 24-17-6, .919 save percentage, which was third, 9 shutouts, which is second in the NHL that year, behind only Henrik Lundqvist. And he was second in voting for the All-Star game at his position for their conference. Did not ultimately make the All-Star game. But there you go. Leclaire, really good fourth season. Everything looks good, right? The thing is, Columbus, not a playoff team. Not yet. 08-09, they're a playoff team. Problem is, Leclaire has nothing to do with it. Plays 12 games that year. He injured his ankle, and that opened the door for Steve Mason to come in. Steve Mason was absolutely ludicrously good that year. Leclaire only plays 12 games, 4-6-1 record, .867 save percentage. Well, now for Columbus, they've got Mason. Mason's their young goaltender. Leclaire, well, I mean, he's still there, but they realize that they might be better off making a move. So they end up trading him. March 4th of 2009, he is traded to the Ottawa Senators, along with a second-round pick, which they used to draft Robin Lehner, in exchange for Antoine Vermette. So for Ottawa, a team that had gone through Hasek being there for a year, that didn't work out, and numerous goaltenders, and so Leclaire is brought in. There's some pomp and circumstance for his entry, and here you go. That first year, 2009-2010, injuries. And freak injury, too, where he gets a broken cheekbone. He's hit by the puck while he's on the bench. So that's one of those keep your head up moments, I guess. And he only plays 34 games that first year in Ottawa. 12-14-2 record, .887 save percentage. So when he is ready to play, Brian Elliott's the starter. 3 games in the playoffs, the only playoff experience he had. He goes 1-2 with a .920 save percentage. So at least he played well in the playoffs, right? Well, 2010-2011 rolls around. He only plays 14 games that year. Ends up 4-7-1. His save percentage was .908. That was fine, but he had hip surgery. So injured ankle, leg injury, he had knee, you name it. You know, he had injuries, and so the hip surgery is what ultimately would end up ending his career. He only played 173 games in the NHL, 61, 76, and 15 record, .904 save percentage. He does have 10 shutouts. He had 1 in 2006-2007 and 9 in 07-08, so at least he gets double digits in shutouts in his career. He retired November 12th of 2012. He had 3 surgeries on his hip at this point. So during the 2011-2012 season, there was definitely discussions here and there, but he couldn't come to a contract agreement. So, and even if he had, obviously his hip was in rough shape. If If you need 3 surgeries on your hip and you're a goaltender, that might be a sign that your career's done. So what's interesting to me is Leclaire, who at the 2008 World Championship leads Canada to a silver medal. He's part of the team that gets the silver medal. But I'll say leads to because, sure, why not? But Leclaire comes in with a lot of, hype around him. He's the top goaltender drafted in 2001. Columbus takes their time with him. They made room for him as the starter, and then he gets hurt. He has one really great season, and then he gets hurt the following year. He ends up going to Ottawa. It never works out in Ottawa, and the career comes to an end. So it can be seen as a bust. It can be seen as a career that's too short because of injury. And it can be seen as part of that goalie of the future thing that I talk about, where very often that goalie of the future that the team's really banking on, we've seen throughout history, sometimes that doesn't work out. And again, it can be due to injury. It can be due to just somebody else comes along. In his case, Steve Mason kind of takes the job away from him while he's injured. So it's kind of a both things happen at the same time. You're hurt. Oh, and there's another goaltender that we feel we have a better chance with. And of course, they would then turn Steve Mason into Bobrovsky years later. So upgrades all around for the Columbus Blue Jackets. But it's too bad because Leclaire had talent, as the one really good year showed. The ability was there, and then the body gave out. So there you go. Interesting career. I do think Leclaire had one of the more interesting careers of players who've played in the last 20 years. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.